The House will come to order. The invocation today will be given by the Honorable Betsy Kofia, State Representative from the 103rd District. Will members, staff, and guests in the gallery please rise? Representative.
My reading today is from a scripture I was taught as a child. Nearly every faith tradition holds some form of this beautiful truth. Matthew 25:34 through 40. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." Then the righteous shall answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you?" The king will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for the least of these, my brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Colleagues, this universal call to love all our neighbors as ourselves has so many applications to the work we do every day as public servants, from expanding access to health care to welcoming newcomers to our state, to addressing the need for equity and justice for every Michigander. May we each, from whatever faith tradition or belief system, answer this call honorably every day, that we have the privilege to represent the people of our districts and our state, especially for the least of these.
The clerk will open the board for the purpose of taking attendance. The board is now open. Members may check in at their desk.
If I could have the members' attention for purposes of an announcement, the chair recognizes the Republican Caucus Chair, Representative Borton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Attention, Republican members. We have a Republican caucus in the Republican caucus room.
Republican members, the caucus has been called. If I could have the members' attention for purposes of an announcement, the chair recognizes the Democratic Caucus Chair, Representative O'Neill.
Oh, it's on. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. To my Democratic colleagues, caucus call, third floor. To my Democratic colleagues, caucus call, third floor.
Democratic members, a caucus has been called on the third floor. I can have members' attention for the purpose of introduction. The chair recognizes Representative Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. In the West Gallery, we have Grace Stevens and Rebecca Mishkowski from Atlas Township in my district, here with the Student Statesmanship Institute.
Would Representative Martin's special guest please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. For purposes of introduction, the chair recognizes Representative Andrews.
Thank you. I want to introduce a group from Lakeshore High School. Our Lakeshore Middle School Honor Choir is here today. Thank you, West Gallery.
Would Representative Andrews' special guest please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. If I could have members' attention for purpose of introduction, the chair recognizes Representative Brook.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have some special guests here from Monroe, from St. Mary's Catholic Central School Group. Kyle Kubik and Francis Gillespie and Sean Jorgensen, and they're in the south upper gallery.
Would Representative Brook's special guests please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. If I could have the members' attention for purposes of introduction, the chair recognizes Minority Floor Leader Posthumous.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. I have with me joining today 10 students and 2 adults from Rockford, the Bethel Community Education.
Would the special guests of Representative Posthumous please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. For purpose of introduction, the chair recognizes Representative Wenzel.
Hello. Thank you. I'd like to welcome in the West Gallery my mother, Joyce Wenzel, and my sister, Allison Grumbine.
Would Representative Wenzel's very special guest please rise? Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives.
Members, please check in at your desks. Speaker recognizes Representative Tisdall.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is my great honor to recognize some guests of ours from Oakland University up in the south and west corners of the gallery. Oakland University straddles Rochester Hills and Auburn Hills. Oakland University is probably the greatest return on investment in the Michigan higher education. 95% of their undergraduates get their very first job right here in Michigan. Again, great ROI. I would like to welcome them to the House floor.
Will the guests of the representatives please rise? Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to excuse all absent members.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will close the board, tally, display, and announce today's attendance.
Madam Speaker, a quorum of the House is present. There are no members absent with prior excuse.
Will members, staff, and guests in the gallery please rise and join me now in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to the order of second reading of bills. The calendar on number 210, House Bill 4927.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 210, House Bill 4927, introduced by Representative Arbit. A bill to designate the month of April of each year as Chaldean and Assyrian Heritage Month in the state of Michigan. People's State of Michigan, enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There are amendments. The clerk will read.
The Committee on Government Operations, Representative Liberati Chair, recommends the adoption of substitute H4.
The question for the House is the adoption of the substitute. The clerk will open the board. The substitute is adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question for the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to the order of third reading of bills and take up calendar item number 62, House Bill 5378.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 62, House Bill 5378, introduced by Representative Preston. A bill to amend the Motor Carrier Fuel Tax Act. People's State of Michigan, enact.
Without objection, the bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There are no amendments. Colleagues, we have a member addressing the body. Please quiet down. Give her your attention. Speaker recognizes Representative Hill.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today to urge my colleagues' support for House Bills 5378 and 5379, which will ease the burdens of transporting raw forest products between Michigan and Wisconsin. The bill is not just about bureaucratic technicalities, it's about supporting the hard-working loggers of the Upper Peninsula to maximize the efficiency of their operations. It's also about small businesses and our local economies. The proposed changes recognize the significant contributions of our logging industry to the state of Michigan and make a crucial change that will help them thrive. The logging industry is a cornerstone of our economy in the UP, but it's facing numerous challenges. For years, one of those challenges has been navigating a system of taxing interstate shipments that just doesn't make sense for UP loggers who are running fixed routes over the same distances day after day. My bill follows up on past legislation to amend the Motor Carrier Fuel Tax Act to allow greater flexibility in transporting raw forest products between our state and Wisconsin. Under current law, most logging companies in the UP are allowed to enter fuel tax reciprocity agreements instead of going through the International Fuel Tax Agreement when they're transporting these short-haul distances. The IFTA uses a complex paperwork process that is intended for long-haul trucks that travel different routes across multiple states. Fuel tax reciprocity agreements like that we would allow streamline the process for loggers. The law as written has been a great success. However, due to a technicality in the language, one of the paper mills in Escanaba was inadvertently excluded. This package rectifies that issue by modestly increasing the allowable travel distance from the state border. It means that all UP loggers will benefit from these common sense agreements. I want to thank my colleague from the 108th House District for his partnership on this important issue. The dedication of our UP delegation to supporting the logging industry has been invaluable. Together, we are making strides towards a more efficient and prosperous future for the loggers of the Upper Peninsula. Madam Speaker, as representatives of the people, it is our duty to enact policies that alleviate unnecessary burdens on our constituents and promote the success of state businesses. HB 5379 does just that for UP loggers. I urge all of my colleagues to join me in support of this bipartisan effort. Thank you.
The question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. Members, please vote at your desks. The clerk will close the board. Tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question of final passage of House Bill 5378, there are 98 aye votes and 5 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted therefore, the bill is passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move for immediate effect.
Majority Floor Leader moves to immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Continuing in the order of third reading of bills, we'll take count number 63, House Bill 5379.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 63, House Bill 5379, introduced by Representative Hill, a bill to amend an act to create the Michigan Highway Reciprocity Board. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Without objection, the bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is the passage of the bill. Record roll call vote is required. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed nay. The clerk will open the board. Members, please vote at your desks. The clerk will close the board. Representative Johnson votes nay. Representative Bolin votes nay. Representative Schuette votes nay. Representative Van Workum votes nay. Representative Cavett votes Representative Coons votes nay. Representative Vanderwall votes Representative Preston votes Representative Vanderwall refuses to vote. The clerk will tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question of final pass of House Bill 5379, there are 53 aye votes and 45 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving not having voted therefore, the bill does not pass. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continue order of third reading of bills. Move to take up count item number 210, House Bill 4927.
Without objection, so ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
It on its immediate passage.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 210, House Bill 4927, introduced by Representative Arbit, a bill to designate the month of May of each year as Chaldean American Month. People, State of Michigan, enact.
Without objection, the bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There are no amendments. Colleagues, we have a member addressing the chamber. Please give him your attention. Speaker recognizes Representative Arbit.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, I rise in support of my bill declaring each May as Chaldean American Month in Michigan. The Chaldean community's expansive economic and cultural impact on the state of Michigan is self-evident not only in my district in Greater West Bloomfield and Commerce, but across Metro Detroit and the entire state. I am incredibly proud to represent many Chaldean families and institutions, from Shenandoah Country Club to St. Thomas Church, and I'm truly honored by the opportunity to help uplift the stories of Chaldean families by sponsoring HB 4927 to designate every May as Chaldean American Month. In recognizing this month, Michigan will not only celebrate our Chaldean neighbors' indelible impact on our state, but also preserve their stories for future generations. Michigan boasts the largest Chaldean population in the United States. Iraqi Christians first immigrated to Michigan in the 1920s, many fleeing religious persecution and seeking opportunity in and around Detroit's auto industry. Today, approximately 187,000 Michiganders are Chaldean or Assyrian or Syriac, with the largest concentrations living in Oakland, Macomb, and Wayne counties. I'm incredibly proud to represent the largest concentration of Chaldeans in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Economically and culturally, the Chaldean community exerts a profound influence on Michigan. Since its inception in 2003, the Chaldean American Chamber of Commerce has steadfastly supported the growth and development of over 25,000 Chaldean-owned businesses, with the community contributing over $18 billion annually to Michigan's economy. By designating May as Chaldean American Month, we provide educators across the state with an opportunity to incorporate lessons about Chaldean culture and history in the classroom. This is beneficial not only for Chaldean students, but also non-Chaldean classmates, because Chaldean culture is Michigan culture, Chaldean heritage is Michigan's heritage, and Chaldean history is Michigan's history. In recognizing Chaldean American Month, Michigan will not only celebrate our Chaldean community's indelible impact on our state, but also preserve their stories for future generations. I strongly urge my colleagues to support HB 4927 to honor the hundreds and thousands of Chaldean, Assyrian, and Syriac Michiganders who have enriched our communities with traditions and helped chart the course of our great state over the last century and for generations to come. Madam Speaker, I again urge my colleagues across this House to vote in favor of HB 4927. Anything else would be a betrayal of the Chaldean community, which so many of us are proud to represent.
The question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. WILX Channel 10 has permission to record for today's session. Members, vote at your desks. The board will be closing shortly. The clerk will close the board. Representative Bierlein votes nay. Representative Schmaltz votes nay. Representative Regas votes nay. Representative Kuntz votes nay. Representative Beeson votes nay. Representative Bolin votes nay. Correct. Choose nay. Representative Zorn votes nay. Representative Representative Schuette votes. Representative Schuette votes. Representative Schuette refuses to vote. Representative DeBoer votes. Representative Filler votes. Representative Aragona votes. Minority Leader Hall votes. Representative Aragona votes. Representative Aragona votes. Representative Aragona refuses to vote. The clerk will tally, display, and announce the vote.
As Speaker, on the question of final passage of House Bill 4927, there are 53 aye votes and 44 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving not having voted therefore, the bill does not pass. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Continuing our third reading of bills, move to count number 66, House Bill 5527.
Without objection, so ordered, the clerk will read.
Calendar number 66, House Bill 5527, introduced by Representative Fitzgerald, a bill to amend the Fire Prevention Code. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Without objection, the bill be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There are amendments. On third reading, amendments require support. The clerk will read.
Representative Fitzgerald offers a floor substitute H4, identified as Amendment Number 1.
On third reading, amendments require support. Is there support? There is support. The clerk will open the board. The amendment is adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question for the House is the passage of the bill. Speaker recognizes Representative Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you. Today I rise in support of House Bill 5527. This bill is a critical step forward in ensuring the safety of students, teachers, and school communities. By requiring schools to develop comprehensive cardiac emergency response plans, we are acknowledging the harsh reality that sudden cardiac arrest does not discriminate by age or physical fitness. It can strike anyone, anywhere, at any time. House Bill 5527 focuses on the implementation of cardiac emergency response plans in schools. These plans are vital in ensuring that our schools are equipped to respond swiftly and effectively in the event of a cardiac emergency. The bill requires the placement of AEDs, or automatic external defibrillators, throughout school campuses and athletic facilities, routine maintenance of these devices, and ongoing training for school personnel. What these bills really do is underscore the importance of health and safety for our children and scholar athletes here in the state of Michigan, ensuring that we are ready in any emergency to respond to both students, maybe patrons, maybe staff, to ensure that life-saving measures, when administered within 1 to 3 minutes, give us the best opportunity to turn tragedy into a success story and the continuation of life. We've heard from scholar athletes who had these cardiac emergencies. Their testimony was powerful. We heard that one person's life was saved by an AED that had 1 shock left in it. By establishing routine maintenance, we know that we can now depend on these devices. Even though they may be there already, we're focused on the routine maintenance, the readiness and the preparedness for our school professionals, but the children, their scholar colleagues, the athletes, the patrons, the community.
Members, we have a colleague addressing the body. Please quiet down and give him your attention. Speaker recognizes Representative Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Again, this bill underscores the importance of prioritization for our children. Those athletes that have had their lives saved by these devices are here today because of, thankfully, preparedness by schools throughout Michigan. But we are establishing what can be depended on at a home game, an away game, or otherwise. So with that, I rise in support of 5527, and I encourage my colleagues to vote for the bill. Thank you.
Speaker recognizes Representative T. Carter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to speak to the entire package?
Without objection, so ordered.
Colleagues, I rise in support of my bill, House Bill 5528, one of the 2 pieces of policy here before the House that modifies the requirements regarding school cardiac emergency plans. I'll share just a couple of statistics with you that will highlight the need to support this legislation. There are about 350,000 sudden cardiac deaths in the U.S. each year, almost equal to 1,000 a day. About 2,000 young, seemingly healthy people under the age of 25 in this country die each year of sudden cardiac arrest, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Across the country and right here at home, preparedness in schools is critical to protect all the children and others in an educational setting. Automatic external defibrillators, or AEDs, can help stop a life-threatening cardiac arrest. However, survival rates, according to the Sudden Cardiac Arrest Foundation, double or triple when bystanders intervene before emergency services arrive.
Colleagues, please give your fellow colleague your attention. Speaker recognizes Representative T. Carter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My bill, House Bill 5528, will require that any individual who serves as an athletic coach at a high school to maintain a valid certification in cardiopulmonary resuscitation and in the use of an AED. This certification must be issued by the Red Cross, American Heart Association, or comparable organization or institution, beginning in the school year of 2025-26. While AEDs are portable devices are straightforward and easy to use, proper training on how to use the device appropriately in an emergency situation is necessary. I'm getting pissed, just be honest with you. This is disrespectful.
Members, if you can't give your colleague your attention, then please take your seat. Speaker recognizes Representative T. Carter.
My bill intentionally, thank you, Madam Speaker. My bill intentionally prohibits any school district from hiring an athletic coach until such valid certification is presented as specified. My bill, 5528, along with 5527, will help improve school and personal safety for all students, parents, staff, and spectators. March is Reading Month, and as we've traveled around to schools, I've noticed that almost every school that I've entered has an AED. So it is about awareness. The Detroit Caucus toured a multi-billion-dollar company the other day, and they had AEDs there. If they have them in every school, they have them in billion-dollar places, we should have them in our schools. Thank you for your support on this important package.
The question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. Members, please vote at your desks. The clerk will close the board. Representative Skaggs votes aye. Representative O'Neill votes aye. Representative DeBoer refuses to vote. Representative Schuette votes The clerk will tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question of final passage of House Bill 5527, there are 55 aye votes and 29 nay votes.
Majority of the members elected and serving having voted therefore, the bill is passed.
I don't know.
Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Move for immediate effect.
Majority Floor Leader moves to immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Representative McDonald.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today I have a guest in the gallery. The young lady is Claire Wong of Bloomfield Hills. I met Claire at a meeting of the Michigan Youth in Government when she invited me to participate and take hard questions from a room full of people back in February, which was a little scary. Claire has already gathered an impressive biography, a junior at Cranbrook Kingswood Upper School. Claire is also a dancer, school newspaper staffer, a student judge, and a founder of the nonprofit organization Politics and You. Claire's goal is to bring more Gen Zers and their policy priorities into politics.
Will the guest of Representative McDonald please rise? Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continuing on to third reading of bills, we'll count number 67, House Bill 5528.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 67, House Bill 5528, introduced by Representative Tyrone Carter, a bill to amend the revised school code. People of the state of Michigan enact.
Without objection, the bill be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question for the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. Members, please vote at your desks. The board will be closing shortly. The clerk will close the board. Representative Glanville votes aye. Representative Cerniglu votes aye. Clerk will tally, display, and announce the vote.
Speaker, on the question of final passage of House Bill 5528, there are 55 aye votes and 41 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted therefore, the bill is passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Move for immediate effect.
Majority Floor Leader moves to immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm proceed to order motions and resolutions to take up House Resolution 212.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 212, introduced by Representative Hood, a resolution declaring March 22nd, 2024 as Michigan Water Day and World Water Day in the state of Michigan.
Members, we're going to have a colleague addressing the body. Please give her your attention. Speaker recognizes Representative Hood.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today in support of House Resolution 212, which declares March 22nd as both Michigan Water Day and World Water Day. Since 1993, the United Nations has designated March 22nd as World Water Day, a day to highlight both the importance of fresh water and advocate for sustainable management of our freshwater resources. The theme for World Water Day in 2024 is Water for Peace. It was chosen to underscore the critical role water plays in fostering peace and cooperation across national boundaries. Water is not merely a resource to be used, it certainly isn't a resource to be fought over. It's a fundamental human right, intrinsic to every aspect of human civilization and life itself. Our long-standing partnership with Canada in stewarding the Great Lakes stands as a shining example of a peaceful resolution of international water disputes. This cooperation is a testament to what can be achieved when nations come together to protect and preserve water resources. However, we face growing challenges. Worsening water scarcity in arid regions of the United States raises concerns about potential demands for diversions of Great Lakes water, some of which are underway. It's imperative that we remain vigilant and proactive in protecting the Great Lakes. And indeed, we must, as conflict around the world, complicated by climate change, is causing more and more people to move to the Great Lakes and to find refuge here amongst our water-rich communities. Through this resolution, this legislative body recommits itself to promoting public awareness to prevent the pollution and depletion of our precious water resources. We celebrate and honor the fresh water in our state. We recognize the interconnectedness of humanity and the global challenges we face, but we also acknowledge our sacred duty as members of the Great Lakes state to protect our natural resources, to uphold the Great Lakes Compact of 2008, and to take actions to prevent the artificial loss of water. We have to ensure that access to clean water is affordable for all Michigan residents. Our commitment to protecting Michigan's water is not just for ourselves, but for current and future generations. I urge my colleagues to support this resolution and to declare March 22nd as both Michigan Water Day and World Water Day, and to reaffirm our dedication to preserving the integrity and beauty of our water resources. Thank you so much for the time.
The question for the House is the adoption of House Resolution 212. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continue to motions and resolutions, and move to take up House Resolution 213.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 213, introduced by Representative Churches, a resolution to declare March 2024 as Endometriosis Awareness Month in the state of Michigan.
Speaker recognizes Representative Churches.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, I rise in support of my House resolution to recognize March as Endometriosis Awareness Month. Endometriosis is a disease where the lining of the uterus grows outside of the uterus, and it can cause debilitating pain, migraines, and infertility. The National Institute of Health has named endometriosis as its top 20 most painful illnesses, along with broken bones, heart attacks, gout, and amongst other things. Endometriosis impacts 1 in 10 women. Madam Speaker, that means every single person in this room knows someone in their life that has been impacted by this illness. In fact, it is as common as diabetes. American endometriosis patients were hospitalized for over 100,000 days in 2010. An estimated societal impact burden of endo symptoms for patients in our country is $56 billion. That's about just shy of $11,000 per patient. Recently, I was diagnosed with the rarest form of endometriosis, stage 4 deep infiltrative endo. I've been told that the cramps associated with this form of endometriosis are comparable to that of labor pains. It brings up a lot of feelings, and women with this disease, we often, we have to pretend that we're okay when we're not, but we're granted with a gift of perseverance. And I do have gratitude for this disease because it has given me an unwavering faith. So, some of the things that you have to deal with, you have a migraine and you have to get through committee. You have to go to dinners. I've been hospitalized and they say nothing's wrong with me, only later to find out I have 2 cysts the size of grapefruits in my body. So there must have been something wrong, but I was told there wasn't. My seatmates have seen me on late nights when you put us in row 32 getting sick in the trash can under my desk. It is inconvenient. It is uncomfortable. It is heartbreaking. But that's the easy part. The hardest part is being faced with the uncertainty of infertility, the most common side effect of this illness. Many endo women have to use IVF if they want a chance at having a family. This means we have to change our timelines, and we have to have conversations that we don't feel ready to have yet. One round of IVF can cost upwards of $15,000. In our country, it's rarely covered under insurance. That means it's a privilege to have a family if you have endometriosis, and the women who have access to it are the ones with power or means, or the ones that want to make tremendous financial sacrifices. Women have to navigate the emotional, the physical, the personal, the financial, and the professional impacts of this illness. And it's because of institutions like this, and politicians, insurance companies, and special interest groups that American women have been given no choice but to be resilient. Again, I do have endless gratitude for what I have learned from having this, and I think it's important to raise awareness. So even though it's a hard thing to talk about, throughout the year I've had lots of women come up to me and thank me for sharing my experience, and that means a lot. So I rise today not only to speak about endo, but how important it is that we as a body continue to shape policies that support women's health care, not destroy it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The question for the House is the adoption of House Resolution 213. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Continue to motions and resolutions. We take up House Resolution 214.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 214, introduced by Representative Fox. The resolution to declare March 24th through the 31st, 2024 as Holy Week in the state of Michigan.
Speaker recognizes Representative Fox.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today to commemorate Holy Week in the state of Michigan. For over 2,000 years, Christians across the world have recalled the events that transpired in the last week of Jesus' life on earth. This year, Holy Week starts on March 24, this coming Sunday, and concludes with March 31. Holy Week begins with a celebration of the triumphal entry of Jesus into Jerusalem on a donkey on Palm Sunday, March 24. The week continues with Spy Wednesday, March 27, when Judas, one of Jesus' closest followers and friends, conspired to betray Jesus. On the night of Maundy Thursday, March 28, Jesus shared the Passover meal, which is also known as Holy Communion, with his disciples. There, he stooped to wash the feet of his disciples, and even the feet of Judas, who betrayed him. By this act, Jesus demonstrated himself as Savior and servant of all who believe in him. Good Friday is good because it is the day in which Jesus shed his blood on the cross for the sins of a lost world. The climax of Holy Week is Easter Sunday. On this day, Jesus rose from the dead. Through and by his life, death, and resurrection, Jesus defeated death, sin, and Satan. He made the way for all of us to have our sins forgiven and to join him in the eternal life that only he supplies. May we, the people of Michigan, turn our hearts and minds to Jesus, the Savior of the world, during this Holy Week of March 24 to 31, 2024. This resolution is available for co-sponsorship on the electronic calendar. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The question for the House is the adoption of House Resolution 214. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Continuing under motions and resolutions, we move to take up House Resolution 215.
Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
I move to suspend Rule 71 in order to take up House Resolution 215.
Majority Floor Leader moves to suspend Rule 71. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, nay. Rule 71 is suspended. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Move to take up House Resolution 215.
Without objection to order, the clerk will read.
House Resolution number 215, introduced by Representative Kofia, a resolution to declare March 2024 as Social Work Month in the state of Michigan.
Speaker recognizes Representative Kofia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today to ask my colleagues to support this resolution. This is a resolution to declare March 2024 as Social Work Month in the state of Michigan. Whereas social work is a profession dedicated to truly and genuinely helping people, and whereas the primary mission of social work is to enhance human well-being and to help meet the basic and complex needs of all people, and whereas social workers put a particular focus on helping people who are vulnerable, oppressed, and living in poverty, whereas social workers follow a code of ethics that calls on them to fight injustice and respect the dignity and worth of all people, and whereas social workers meet people where they are and help people and communities reach their full potential, whereas for more than a century, the social work profession has worked to improve this society, with social workers playing a role in establishing a minimum wage, Social Security, and Medicare, and working to ensure equal rights for all, and whereas social workers work in all facets of our society, including schools, hospitals, community organizations, the military, mental health centers, social service agencies, corporations, and local, state, and federal government. And whereas social workers are on the front lines in helping this nation solve pressing social problems, including an increased demand for mental health services, an opioid addiction crisis, and economic inequality. And whereas social workers are in high demand, with some states reporting shortages in staffing, and the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics predicting that social work will be one of the fastest growing professions in our nations during this decade. Whereas a 2023 public opinion survey found that social work has a public approval rating of more than 80%, more than a lot of politicians, and more than half of Americans say social workers deserve higher pay, and whereas 2024 Social Work Month theme, Empowering Social Workers, embodies the need for our society to support social workers so they can continue to do the life-affirming work they do and help address societal needs. And whereas social workers in turn empower people, communities, and our nation, helping everyone achieve their full potential. Last whereas, there are over 30,000 licensed social workers in the state of Michigan. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the House of Representatives, that the members of this legislative body—
Representative, you are not to be reading the resolution in its entirety on the floor. So, Speaker recognizes Representative Kofia.
I am proud to support this resolution, and I would ask that my colleagues from all sides of the aisle to join me in voting yes.
Question for the House is the adoption of House Resolution 215. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
I move to suspend Rule 71 in order to take up House Resolution 216 at this time.
Majority Floor Leader moves to suspend Rule 71. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, nay. Rule 71 is suspended. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 216, introduced by Representative Ayash, a resolution to extend best wishes to Muslims in Michigan, the United States, and worldwide for a joyous and meaningful observance of Ramadan, a holy month of prayer, fasting, charity, and reflection.
Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. To my community across the state of Michigan and this country, I wanted to wish all the Muslims that are observing Ramadan Mubarak. And normally this would be a time of great reflection and a renewed sense of hope and an opportunity for Muslims across the world to re-examine what can we do to be better than we were in the year before. What can we do to improve on our journey in this world through our faith, to be more compassionate, to be more merciful, to live by the words of our Creator. And normally, this is a time for many Muslims that is joyful because it is often the moment where you re-engage with your family in quite a while. It's times where you enter the mosque and you pray late night prayers with people that you may see only during this time of the year. And while I will voluntarily choose to fast from sunup to sundown, I'd be remiss if I did not talk about the over 2 million people in Gaza right now who do not have enough food to eat. See, many of them are observing Ramadan, Madam Speaker, and half the population, over 1 million people, on the brink of starvation. And this is a report by the United Nations that they will be on the brink of famine anytime between the end of this month and through the month of May. This is what some have said is the highest number of people facing catastrophic hunger ever recorded anywhere in the world. And I want you to think about that for a minute. Imagine if all of Macomb County and all of Wayne County did not have access to any food during a 150-day period. 25 people, most of them children, have literally died from starvation. People are resorting to things like eating grass. And those that are fasting, Madam Speaker, during the month of Ramadan are having to eat animal feed and drink polluted water. See, this is a month of reflection, and I think as I think about all the pain that we have seen from the people in Gaza, we have to remind ourselves that in this blessed month of Ramadan, we must push ourselves to do more. It is not only enough to pray, it is not only enough to stand against the injustice, but it is through the spiritual month of Ramadan that we should think about all of these things that are man-made crises that we can act on, because faith without action is dead. And I want to close with Scripture. See, Scripture tells us that verily with hardships comes ease. And so many Palestinians have faced an enduring hardship that's entirely man-made and preventable because of throttling of aid by Israel. And it is my hope that in this month we can see a Ramadan where we have so many people in Palestine that will be able to voluntarily break their fast and voluntarily start their fast without the subjugation and the occupation that has led to the starving. Ramadan Mubarak to everyone, and I encourage you to reach out to your Muslim communities throughout this month. Thank you.
The question before the House is the adoption of House Resolution 216. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to see the order of messages from the Senate and take up Senate Concurrent Resolution number 15.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
To the Speaker of the House of Representatives, dear sir, I herewith transmit Senate Concurrent Resolution number 15, a concurrent resolution to prescribe the legislative schedule. The Senate has adopted the concurrent resolution.
The question for the House is the adoption of Senate Concurrent Resolution 15. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Ayash.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just to let members know there will be no further voting and the House adjourns as stands adjourned. I move to see the order of motions and resolutions. And just to let the members know that there will be no further voting and the House adjourns as stands adjourned until Wednesday, March 20th at 1:30 p.m.
Without objection, so ordered. House will stand at ease at the call of the chair. Speaker recognizes Representative Skaggs.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, colleagues, guests, I rise today to pay tribute and say farewell to a fine public servant, my legislative director, a son to Bo and Holly, a friend to me and many, an Eagle Scout, Tom Stevenson. Tom leaving is a loss for this chamber, but also for the entire state. which, through his dedication and remarkable service to the people of this state, has reaped untold benefits. Throughout his almost 5 years working in this chamber, going from an intern to working on constituent relations, and most recently as my legislative director, Tom has served the people of Michigan. Those in public service do the job for a chance to do good for others. Tom took every chance he could to better this state. His tenacious commitment to progress, a deep love for the people of this state, and a genuine interest in their well-being has made him a fabulous member of this community. Tom is known around the Capitol because he always looks for ways to help colleagues, co-workers, friends, and members of this body. He has brought to this chamber thoughtful deliberations on the bills that I'm working on and is an expert at the appropriations process. During the pandemic, he worked to help West Michigan constituents deal with the difficulties of getting through those tough years. And he will continue to make Michigan a better place for years to come. So please, colleagues, join me in wishing Tom all the best and success in this new chapter of his professional journey, and giving our most heartfelt thanks for his service, for his leadership, for his friendship. Tom, your hard work and dedication and perseverance through some difficult times have left a mark on this chamber that will not be forgotten. Thank you so much.
Colleagues, please join me in thanking Tom for his service to the Michigan House of Representatives.
The House will come to order. House proceed to announcements by the Clerk of Printing and Enrollment.
Clerk announced that the following bills have been reproduced and made available electronically on Thursday, March 14th. House Bills 5578 through 5596, Senate Bills 790 through 800. The clerk announced the enrollment printing and presentation to the governor on Tuesday, March 19th for her approval of the following bills. Enrolled House Bill 4511 at 11:34 a.m., Enrolled House Bill 4512 at 11:36 a.m., Enrolled House Bill 4676 at 11:38 a.m. Clerk announced that the following bills have been reproduced and made available electronically on Tuesday, March 19th, Senate Bills 801 and 802. Clerk announced that the following Senate bills have been received on Tuesday, March 19th. Senate Bills 398, 504, 546, 702, 716, 744, and 789.
Reports of standing committees.
Committee on Military, Veterans, and Homeland Security, Representative Conlon Chair reported House Bill 5433 with recommendation that substitute H1 be adopted and that the bill then pass.
Bills referred to the order, second reading of bills.
Committee Elections, Representative Cernoglu, Chair, reported House Bill 5550 without amendment with recommendation that the bill pass.
Bills referred to the order second reading of bills.
Committee on Elections, Representative Cernoglu, Chair, reported House Bill 5551 without amendment with recommendation that the bill pass.
Bills referred to the order second reading of bills. Messages from the Senate.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, sir, I herewith return to the House House Bill 4012. The Senate has passed the bill, order that be given immediate effect, and pursuant to Joint Rule 20, inserted the full title.
The House agrees to the full title. The bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
I herewith return to House Bill 4183. The Senate has passed the bill, order that be given immediate effect, and pursuant to Joint Rule 20, inserted the full title.
The House agrees to the full title. The bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
I herewith return to House Bill 5207. The Senate has passed the bill.
The bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
I the return House Bill 5208. The Senate has passed the bill and pursuant to Joint Rule 20 inserted the full title.
The House agrees to the full title. The bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
I the return House Bill 5209. The Senate has passed the bill and pursuant to Joint Rule 20 inserted the full title.
House agrees to the full title. Bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
I the return House Bill 5210. The Senate has passed the bill and pursuant to Joint Rule 20 inserted the full title.
The House agrees to the full title. Bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
I the return House Bill 5211. The Senate has passed the bill and pursuant to Joint Rule 20 inserted the full title.
The House agrees to the full title. Bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
I the return House Bill 5212. The Senate has passed the bill and pursuant to Joint Rule 20 inserted the full title.
House agrees to the full title. Bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
I the return House Bill 5213. The Senate has passed the bill and pursuant to Joint Rule 20 inserted the full title.
House agrees to the full title. The bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
I the return House Bill 5214. The Senate has passed the bill and pursuant to Joint Rule 20 inserted the full title.
The House agrees to the full title. Bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
I the return House Bill 5215. The Senate has passed the bill and pursuant to Joint Rule 20 inserted the full title.
House agrees to the full title. Bill is referred to the clerk for enrollment, printing, and presentation to the governor.
Here would transmit Senate Bill 398, a bill to amend the Natural Resources and Environmental Protection Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for the first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Natural Resources, Environment, Tourism, and Outdoor Recreation.
Here would transmit Senate Bill 504, a bill to amend an act to provide for the regulation and control of public and certain private utilities. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for the first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Energy, Communications, and Technology.
Here would transmit Senate Bill 546, a bill to amend the Michigan Liquor Control Code of 1998. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for the first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Regulatory Reform.
Here would transmit Senate Bill 702, a bill to amend the Occupational Code. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for the first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Regulatory Reform.
Would transmit Senate Bill 716, a bill to amend the Michigan Vehicle Code. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for the first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Transportation, Mobility, and Infrastructure.
Here would transmit Senate Bill 744, a bill to amend an act relative to continuing tenure of office of certificated teachers in public educational institutions. The people of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for the first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Education.
Here would transmit Senate Bill 789, a bill to amend the Michigan Liquor Control Code of 1998. The people of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for the first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Regulatory Reform. Notices.
Appropriations Subcommittee on Health and Human Services will meet Wednesday, March 20th at 10:30 a.m., room 352, House Appropriations, Capitol Building.
Introduction of a bill.
Representative Cavett offers House Bill 5597, a bill to amend the Natural Resources and Environmental Protection Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
Bill is considered read for the first time by its title, referred to the Committee on Natural Resources, Environment, Tourism, and Outdoor Recreation. Announcements by the clerk.
Received from the Michigan Strategic Fund and Michigan Economic Development Corporation the annual report summarizing activities and program spending for the previous fiscal year.
Any members who are still in the chamber during the break, the Youth and Government will be coming in to use the chamber. If you can clear your stuff from your personal stuff from the desk, that would be helpful. Thank you. There being no further business to come before the House, Representative Brabeck moves that the House do now adjourn. All those in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed will say nay. The motion prevails. The House will stand adjourned until Wednesday, March the 20th at 1:30 p.m.